Air conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze, napping high around 79. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low around 58. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and it will be breezy and hot with a high around 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Oh, we made it to Friday. We did it. We did it. We did it. So did you. Way to go. Glad you tuned in to On the Block here as a part of your Friday, getting you set for Nebraska and Rutgers. When we hit the halfway mark of the show today, we will be 24 hours away from kickoff between the Huskers and the Scarlet Knights. That's a lot of what we're talking about today here on The Block. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, my partner in the digital camo, Strick. How you feeling, partner?
Wonderful, wonderful. I can't feel any better than I'm feeling right now. Coming off of a thirsty Thursday and then having a beautiful day. Woke up, was able to take a nice walk today, just this morning, do a little bit of reading, just sitting out on the balcony. It was just so beautiful. And then to come down and to sit and have this window view as well, man, not a cloud in the sky. It's a sunny day. I'm feeling like an Ice Cube moment where today is a good day, but I'm hoping tomorrow's an even better day as
You're
the
not
Huskers
melting?
Not melting, just hoping that the Huskers hit the field and handle things the way that they, I expect them to be able to handle it and be a little bit happy about things on Saturday evening.
Does it feel like the next 2 games in the next 3 weeks are the biggest of the season for the Huskers?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we've talked about even on WTF last night. The Ticket FM, theticketfm.com. Go back and check that episode. It was actually a pretty fun and funny one. But yeah, we've talked about it here. We definitely mentioned it and talked about it there. The importance of this next 2-week stretch, like just how important it is. I mean, you've spoken about the runway. You've talked about how a lot of people and pundits believe going into, looking at the schedule and going into Ohio State at a 7-0 record. I still think they have the chance to go 6-0. But the main thing about what's coming up in the next few games is you're going to get another shot at an undefeated team at home, a team that's playing pretty well, and they're ranked, right? Did they get ranked? No,
Rutgers is not ranked.
They're not.
No,
but no, it's the next game, Indiana.
Yes.
Indiana's ranked.
Yep.
So going into this, what Rutgers is going to prepare you for is just a hard-nosed, gritty, everything you need on the road. Hard-nosed, gritty, minimize mistakes, don't give away opportunities. Those are the things you got to do on the road to come out victorious. It doesn't matter what sport you're playing. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, basketball. Whenever you have a chance to do something on the road and to get a game on the road, especially like playoffs and things, it's even more important. Positioning, like late, just think about how, the conversation we were having about the Royals and what they had left and what they needed to do. And look, they had a tough road stretch.
They did.
That they had to get through. And so whatever that, to me, Rutgers is preparing Nebraska because that's how gritty and solid and physical and all of those things that you're going to need when you go on the road. I don't think Purdue posed that. I think Purdue exposed some things that Nebraska still needs to handle a little bit better, and that's definitely like penalties and just getting off to and look, you're coming back home. The energy level against Illinois was not the same as the energy level against Colorado.
No.
The way that they approached the game, I don't know if they were kind of feeling themselves again. And we talked about how Nebraska struggled to maintain a focus after dealing with success. And it seemed like they kind of were still dealing with that a little bit. And it looked like Illinois was a little bit more, focused on the game plan at hand. That's what I think we're going to learn out of this week, definitely, and next few weeks in preparation for Ohio State.
That's coming up in about a month and a half. Huskers will have a bye week before Indiana, so get through Rutgers. You're through 6 games. You get a bye week, and then the season breaks down into a pair of 3-game stretches. It's Indiana, Ohio State, UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, Iowa for the Huskers. But you're at the end of the runway, right? You're in the air right now. I really think with Rutgers, Purdue, I think was the last true easy game on the schedule. Maybe UCLA gets there by that point. But you can't take anything for granted. You don't know how beat up you're going to be, especially coming off this next stretch here. So I think that this Rutgers game is the next best opportunity for Nebraska. Not a ranked team, not even an overly impressive team for my money, Strick. But if you look at the Scarlet Knights' last 2 wins, they beat Virginia Tech 26-23. That one was on the road in Blacksburg. Sorry, Andrew Alex, Nate Brennan. But then they also beat Washington at home on a Friday night, right? That's a weird game for Washington. Make that trip early in the week to get out there for a Friday night game, weird environment, body clock is off and everything. Rutgers hasn't been overly impressive in getting to 4-0. Yes, Kyle Monongai is good, averaging over 5 yards per carry this year. We know that he's solid. Rutgers outgained Virginia Tech by about 100 yards, almost doubled him up in passing, but was outrushed. They allowed 6.8 yards per carry to Virginia Tech, 27 rushes for 183 yards. In a field goal game, Rutgers kicks a field goal after allowing 16 fourth-quarter points to get the Hokies back even. They kick a field goal with just about 2 minutes to go to win the game. What were they able to do? Force turnovers. 2 lost fumbles and an interception for Virginia Tech. Guess what? Same story, different verse last week for Rutgers against Washington. This one was at home. Washington piled up 500 yards of offense. Rutgers didn't break 300. Washington ran for 7 yards per carry, 29 carries, 207 yards, 3 missed field goals. Rutgers stepped up when it mattered. Special teams was the deciding factor. Time of possession was about even, but 6 penalties for 70 yards for Washington. That's why I think this game is so important for Nebraska, Stricky. Like you've been saying, Nebraska can't beat itself. Rutgers will not beat Nebraska. Rutgers is not that good. Don't look at their 4-0 record. They have not necessarily played that well. They've just been less bad.
They've just been less bad than the other guy.
They've played Big Ten West football.
If Rutgers was Purdue last week, they lose.
Yes.
Like if this was that game, because they're not going to beat themselves. They're not going to do anything to like that's going to be dominating in any factor. They're just going to be solid.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm trying to think of it. Help me, Austin, on this one. What game or what? Okay, I got one. So I was watching the U.S. Open, right? Tennis.
Okay.
And there were certain tennis players that they're just going to return the ball. They're going to return serve. They're going to be good on first serve. They're not going to necessarily hit to the corners. They're not going to hit backhands cross court on you. They're just going to go boop. They're just going to keep playing. And they're going to force you to try to do something by hitting a slice, hitting a drop ball, hitting a hard cut cross court, hitting a big forehand. They're hitting a big first serve, and then you have a service. That's that they're going to play that game, and they're going to end up beating you because they're not going to do anything specific.
No,
that's going to try to beat you. That's the best explanation. Would you agree?
Right. They're not going to try to hit the fancy shots. Not going to try to use too much velocity or too much spin. Just enough to get you just out of position enough where you're just uncomfortable enough to mess up a little bit. And then they're going to try to get those mistakes to add up over time. It's not even a full step out of position, but 6 inches out of position this time. So you get 6 more inches out of position the next time.
Something I've learned about what you just said there, Austin. This is a great illustration of what you just said. You and I, your beautiful family, mine too, we're going to go to Tahiti. Or we're going to go to Hawaii.
Ooh.
We're leaving out of port in California. The destination is set. The skies are clear. There's no bad weather. Everything is good to go. But there's a mistake as far as the direction of the rudder. The rudder is just slightly off. It's not that it's six inches, it's
like
not
3 degrees off.
It's not even, we say it's 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees, right? Not even 3. Not that bad. It's hardly noticeable. But as you're making your trek to Hawaii, that 1.5 degrees takes you away from the island.
Get to New Zealand instead.
You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's not even a whole bunch. It's just those little small degrees could actually make a difference about what it means of how you get to your destination. That's it. That's it.
In that, the couple degrees off, to me, Strick, there's a couple key matchups when we get down to Nebraska and Rutgers. I think, first of all, it's running backs versus linebackers on both sides. Let's start with the Nebraska defense against the Rutgers rushing attack. So Kyle Monangai, obviously the headliner, 97 carries, 590 yards. That's an average of 6 yards per carry. He also has 6 rushing touchdowns, only 3 catches for 8 yards, so not a huge weapon out of the backfield in the passing game. But Strick, Washington's linebackers, Virginia Tech's linebackers especially, poor jobs of tackling. Not good. They tried to hit this guy high. It's not going to work. He is a spark plug, a fire plug, right? 5'9", 200 pounds. He's got pretty good burst, maybe not home run hitter speed, but certainly fast enough to get the job done. He's got some nasty to him. And Jay made a good point, I think, earlier in the week. He runs a little bit like a smaller Devin Mockabee from Purdue, right? Kind of limbs flailing, but if you hit him high, his center of gravity is low enough, you're not going to bring him down, right?
He's like a bowling ball, isn't he? Kind of.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of stature, I think that Monangai's height is not bad for Nebraska, right? Bullock and Bayer especially aren't huge linebackers.
Right.
Stephon Thompson, not a tall guy, right? So hypothetically, I think this matchup is one that Nebraska's linebackers should find favorable because they don't have to get especially low. They're already low enough to the ground. Here's the potential problem. They're also not necessarily as big as Monangai, right? If they're playing back on their heels, it doesn't matter how close they are to the ground, right? Monangai can take away that yard or two of separation real quick. He will get up on you. If Nebraska's back on its heels like it was against Illinois, they're in trouble. You give this guy a head of steam or just a step to make a cut, he's past him. To me, this is a linebackers versus Monangai game for Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, like he's averaging a Big Ten best 147 yards per game. So you know that's what they're going to go to. You're talking about 25 carries per game. It's going to be heavy in the run. What does that mean for Nebraska in their front line as well as their linebackers? I like what you said about the linebackers because the linebackers are going to have to get downhill, fill gaps quickly. They're going to have to take out positions to make Monangai have to change. If he has gaps that he's able to hit, as you said, and get into the second level quickly, and you're having to solo and you're having a safe, you better have multiple linebackers closing and you better have help from safeties because if it's one-on-one situations, he's that good. He's strong, he's physical, and he's shifty as far as one cut or jump, simple cut situations to get you off angle so you don't have good angles at him.
Yeah.
So he's only lost yards in just 5 of his 97 attempts.
Woo. Dang.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's like 4% of the time.
This is a huge test for Nebraska. As you said, they haven't done anything crazy dominating. Other teams have dominated them, yards-wise, all of that. It's the mistakes. So meaning the discipline of the line, being in gaps. Don't try to do anything you're not supposed to do. If you're supposed to hit a B gap, hit a B gap. If you're supposed to blitz into an A gap, blitz into an A gap, take out a lineman, get up in there, take out of a fullback, anything you need to do but you've got to be disciplined, and it's not always going to be you that's going to make the play.
Yeah.
That's the way you've got to really view this. You just got to do your job, make him change directions, make him get horizontal instead of vertical, and then maybe you've got something there if you're Nebraska. It's going to be a very a high need for discipline tomorrow as far as, what your job is, where your leverage is, if you're supposed to slant. You've got to be on point. If you're not, it could be trouble.
Riley W says, Chef Strick cooking up today.
Whoa, Riley, I'm trying, man. I'm feeling really good today. I'm feeling really good. I'm excited.
What you cooked recently?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
I've been lazy lately. But there's been good stuff. Like we had our meeting last night.
Yeah.
No need to cook.
Shout out Charlie Cologne.
Shout out Charlie. Shout out.
Hey, also.
Good senses here today. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's been one of those type of weeks. Because obviously I got back in town. Other things was happening. Couple nights I really just was on shakes because I knew I was going to the gym the next morning. So but this weekend I'm back on it. I
can't wait to see what Stricky cooks up. You bring it in, and I'm usually impressed, Stricky.
I try, man. I might hook up a little pasta dish or something like that. Ooh. I might bring it in next week.
I like it.
Yeah.
Another key matchup, I think, for Nebraska will be the interior offensive line versus Rutgers DTs and linebackers. They got out of position quite a bit, leading to a lot of those big runs against Washington and Virginia Tech. But Strick, I keep having to go back to, I don't know how committed Nebraska is to running the ball. Even if Washington was explosive on the ground, even if Virginia Tech was explosive on the ground, I don't know if I believe Nebraska will give itself the chance to be consistently explosive on the ground over 25, 30, 35 carries. Something I noticed too watching Rutgers, corners are good. They're not huge. Nebraska's got some big receivers, right? This can be a Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nair game, especially in the red zone. Washington scored. Washington moved the ball down the field a couple times too, essentially just posting up, saying, we have 6'3", 6'4" receivers. Will Rogers, we trust you to throw the ball up where only our guy can get it. We'll take our chances with it. I know people are going to look at the rushing yards that Rutgers has surrendered against those two Power 4 teams in Washington and Virginia Tech. Would it be nice for Nebraska to go for 200 on the ground and run for 5 yards a carry? Yeah. Do I expect it? No. I do think Nebraska does have an advantage outside, though.
Okay, very good. I'm going to throw this one back at you. Shout out to Sways on the YouTube stream. He says this, that just to retouch that situation, because I think it's an important one. They have 5 guys on the offensive line, 6'6" or taller, including a 6'8", 344-pound dude.
Monster.
Mm-hmm. That's where this is why I'm saying, don't think you're just going to man-on-man beat them. I think you get into gaps. I think you do some slanting. I think you do some stunning. I think you do a lot of things to get those big bodies moving a little bit. Shout out to you, Sways. Now to answer your question, that's stuff we should be doing. We should have been doing. Their defense is again, they're gonna be pretty solid as well. I'm interested even to see how Satterfield is going to engage them, in what manner. I talked about it last time. I think in the passing game, one of the areas now that teams are really starting to pick up on Nebraska, and I think where they've had great success, they haven't really killed you on the deep ball.
No.
They've really beat you on intermediate or just beyond intermediate levels. Mm-hmm. So in that 12 to 20 yard range, they've really killed in that range. But they haven't really done a good job on dumping the ball off. When I've seen it a couple times lately, so I think he's starting to get there, but I hadn't really seen that yet. So I'm interested to see how they're going to attack inside, outside in the run game, what their blocking schemes are going to look like. Is it going to be switched up? Mm-hmm. And then we haven't seen the tight end in verticals. We haven't seen the tight end stretching out the middle of the defense either. Mm-hmm. I think you gotta figure out how, if you don't want to use Fedoni in there and his size and his giftings in there and that ability, if you're not sure of his shiftiness and running ability or route running, I think go with Carter Nelson. Use him on some interiors, get him in a motion and work him. I think he's got speed, power, and physicality to work vertically in there if you don't want to use him. So that's what I'm looking at, seeing how they're going to use their passing game and how they're going to attack it.
Nebraska's top 3 tight ends coming into the year: Fedoni, Borkacher, Lindenmeyer. Between those 3, how many catches do you think they have this year?
I'm
Through 5
gonna
games.
say 11.
Fedoni has 11. Lindenmeyer 1, Borkacher 1. So that's essentially what, 2.5 catches per game for tight ends. Carter Nelson 8 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown on the year. That's the only touchdown out of that group. Does Nebraska need to full pivot to Carter Nelson as tight end 1, or is he still a changeup?
I understand why there's it's his size. And look, I want to give credit to Fedoni. I give credit for the stick-to-itiveness of him, staying with it. I give credit to battling injuries and returning and still being, I give credit to wanting to stay and stick it out and give it another go.
Mm-hmm.
I even give credit to his blocking adjustments. I still think he doesn't set the edge well, but I still think he's getting up in the holes. He's not getting lost like I saw him last year, where he turns up in holes and he's like, and then the running back runs right up his back, and then the guy makes a tackle because the guy he should have been blocking, he misses him or whiffs on him, or even in, a blocking scheme where he's designed to block the end, and they may be double teaming on a tackle or something, and he whiffs, and then so I saw that a lot. Yeah. I haven't seen that as much this year, so I give credit to him. But I just, for some reason, I just believe, and maybe it's because he's not grading outright, and maybe because he hasn't picked up the scheme. I think he's a smart guy, so I don't know if that's the case or not as far as Carter Nelson. But I think he's been your most valuable target when he's used correctly. And if you want to do some switching out, or you want to do some set switches, I don't know, but I think you got to get that young man involved.
Corey in Lincoln says Carter Nelson isn't even tight end 4 this season. He's a gadget player / wide receiver. That's how he's been used, but I'm saying, should Nebraska make that stylistic switch, right? Away from maybe a traditional tight end as we think of it, to a more athletic tight end, right? Kyle Pitts finally had a big game yesterday for the Falcons. That's more the model I think we see for Carter Nelson, but it seems like he and Dylan Raiola have some good chemistry. Raiola knows where to look for him. We've seen the clips from practice as well. Maybe they need to expand Carter Nelson's role, or maybe he's just perfect where he's at, right? As a situational type of player, I don't know. The other thing I think Nebraska could do, Strick, to get tight ends more involved, just a little delay, right? Block, take 3 steps, turn around. Just that simple, right? It looks like you're in a 6-man protection, send the running back out on a route. Nebraska has had pretty good pass protection, all things considered. If you keep Fedoni in there, if Rutgers shows blitz, stop, okay, go real quick. And Dylan Raiola knows to look for it. He's a good enough processor that he's not going to bail away from that read when it comes late. Maybe that's an easy way to get some yards after the catch for a guy like Fedoni with a head of steam.
And why would something like that work?
Because Nebraska hasn't shown it yet.
Well, that too.
And you got deep threats in Banks, Nayor, Lloyd.
Those linebackers, there's 2 things. One, their play action passes are look, I played linebacker. I am not biting on any play action passes that Nebraska has showed me thus far, because it's not play action. Raiola is nowhere near it. Look, you got to think about, I'm reading, I'm looking, I'm depth, like immediately. Like I'm getting depth because I know, unless I have a read on that running back and I have to, or I have where I'm spying Raiola, but you really don't have to spy Raiola because he's not always
not
running.
Killing you with the legs.
He's going to look right. So I'm getting depth. And this is why these routes are starting to close up, is because their play actions don't look like play. It's like he's doing it, but the running back's like over where you are to me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's faking, but
the linebacker can read that angle and see there's no way the running back's grabbing
that ball. Yeah. I'm out. And so they've got to do a better job at that, because I've seen football teams where guys ride that thing all the way to the line and pull, and then they find somebody, and you're, as a linebacker, you're like, yeah,
gotta go.
Is a difference. So they've got to do a better job at that. And then I agree. I think those tight end pops in those situations are there because of how bad they haven't operated in the read or in the play action, and those guys are getting so much depth, it's going to be space there, whether in between them or just off if they're in like a cover 2 type of a drop zone. So yeah, man, come on, man. I mean, let's figure it out. I need to get in there and sit down with Satterfield, maybe have a conversation. That's what we need.
We'll drive you over in our golf cart, Stricky.
Yeah, we got.
How about that? We'll get you there for your conversation, right up in style.
Yeah. I'm gonna be remote. We're working together tomorrow too.
We are.
I'm gonna be remote.
Yeah, our golf cart assistant isn't around, so maybe we can't even drive the golf cart. But
I'm gonna be at home. I'm gonna be at home for that one.
But you'll tap in remote.
I'm gonna tap in.
A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show starting at noon. You won't want to miss it. We'll go to break. When we get back, more Nebraska and Rutgers talk before we break down the weekend of college football. All in hour 2 of On the Block. Big thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of the show. Check them out at nebcoinc.com. They're hiring for constructors as well as ready mixed concrete. More Nebraska Rutgers with your thoughts next.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Order online or on our app.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are out of the gate for September with a very special GMC sales offer. We must move out all new GMC truck inventory fast. So right now at Koppel, we are offering true GM supplier pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard right. True GM supplier pricing on all GMC Sierras. That's over $12,000 off on select models. That's GM supplier pricing, $12,000 off on Sierras. Do not wait. Stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Stop by our 93.7 The Ticket Studios this Saturday, October 5th, to get your pregame grub on with the help from Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Charles and his team will be set up on the sidewalk with ribs, brisket sandwiches, pulled pork, pulled chicken, mac and cheese, baked beans, and potato salad, all available for purchase. Make pregame plans to stop by our 93.7 The Ticket Studio to get filled up on Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul this Saturday, October 5th, before cheering on the Huskers.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxing on Saturday, October 5th with Roughnecks at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 8 bouts are scheduled for the night, including the main event of Dwayne Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks in the professional middleweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back on the block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you, brought to you by Nebco. We also have our Starter Heyman Jewelers live video streams up. We got Sways on there as well on Twitter. We got Facebook, YouTube up as well. Big thanks to Starter Heyman Jewelers for sponsoring our video streams as well as our text line at 402-464-5685. Ellie, the people can't see our beautiful faces.
Good.
There we go. We got
That's
it.
good.
There we go. It's delayed. That is on me. That is my bad. Stricky, Nebraska 6-0 against Rutgers all time. Never lost to them. Haven't played that often, right? Rutgers only joined the conference in 2014. I think there's only one matchup before that. When you think about Nebraska, you think of a blue blood, right? You think of history, you think of tradition. When you think of Rutgers, you think of, oh, they're the birthplace of college football. And that's about it. Maybe you go back to the 2007 season that they had when they were a member of the Big East. Their run they won double-digit games, one of the few times in program history they've done that. I know that Rutgers still has college athletes too. I know that Greg Schiano is a good coach. But Strick, I think back to my own high school baseball days. We were in a bit of a losing streak, and we're playing a team that wasn't very good. We'd never lost to, that sort of thing. And I remember my coach's pregame speech vividly. I'm not going to say the high school. They don't deserve that, and they're not going to catch strays on the show or anything. But it was, guys, we're playing this team. You don't lose to this team. Ready, break. That was the entire meeting. Mm-hmm. Arrogant? Maybe. But I think it just instilled us with a bit of confidence. Like, yeah, that's right. We're good. They're not. We got to go out. We got to take care of our business, but we got to win this game. We can't not win this game. I get it. The previous 6 matchups have nothing to do with this one. Different players, different teams, different coaches, all that. I get it. Is there any value in Nebraska reminding itself, hey, we're Nebraska, they're Rutgers? Is Nebraska at a point where it can say, we got to have confidence in ourselves because we're Nebraska? Or is that too arrogant of this Nebraska team and this program right now?
First off, I'm going to say it's too arrogant.
Okay.
At this particular point. To me, it already seems as if that's what a lot of people thought about Illinois. And this is probably how Nebraska kind of started feeling themselves. Oh, they ain't better than Colorado, and we blasted them. So I'm not saying that was the case, but that's what it felt like to me.
Mm-hmm.
This game, though, it shouldn't feel like the lose-lose that it could be. Here's what I mean by that. All right. What's his name? Oh gosh, he's with Outkick. Help me, 402-464-5685. He's like the voice of Outkick. Like him. He's pretty cool
Clay
dude.
Travis.
Clay Travis.
Yep.
Okay, Clay Travis. So Clay, this is my kind of explanation of what I'm saying. The danger of that approach. Clay said, I'll put out $1 million. I think that's what he said. Yeah, $1 million if the WNBA team will play the best
high school
team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wins that game, I'll give $1 million to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Never happened, but it's a dangerous proposition. Here's what I'm saying by that. This is why he said high school and not like a college or not like, because to them it's a lose-lose.
Right.
We beat you, we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
We lose to you,
we're in trouble.
We're right.
Yeah,
that's a lose-lose situation. Same thing for boxing or for any other sport that you would decide. Like you remember what happened when oh gosh, was it Andre Agassi? I think Andre Agassi played Billie Jean King or Chris Everett or one of them and lost.
Yeah.
And he got murked for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you can't take that approach.
Yeah.
This is why no matter who you're playing, no matter who they are, if I'm playing against my daughters, I'm trying to beat the brakes off of them because I don't want to hear it. If I'm playing her again in Uno, I'm trying to beat the brakes off my
draw, four, skip, revert, and all that.
I'm giving it to them, right? Because I think there's lessons to be learned out of that. I this is where I think we've been coddled. Whenever I lost as a kid, I didn't get anything. I didn't get no trophy. I didn't get no ribbon.
You got mad. That's all you got. You got mad.
And you had to get better. Let me work on myself, right? That's been lost. Now every kid gets a freaking a trophy and, oh, thanks for participating. Great job. No, you were horrible. And guess what? You're going to come back horrible next year. Remember how they got mad at, what's his name that used to play for the Steelers? Harrison.
Oh, James Harrison. Yeah.
They got mad at Harrison for, throwing the trophy down, but this kid got a participation trophy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at him for that. But everybody came down on him. It's coddling. It's doing it. So I'm making a point, but I'm only saying Nebraska is not there. So even the more, you need to go beat the brakes off of it. I don't care if it's Nebraska Westland School of the Deaf and Blind. I did that because Ellie's in here. That was only because Ellie's in here. But I don't care if it's the School of the Blind. I'm trying to beat the brakes off of them.
Mm-hmm.
You want to step on this field? Anybody who wants to step on the field, you can get it. That's the mentality they need to have, period.
How will you measure that for Nebraska against Rutgers?
I'm going to measure it by focus. So I'm not going to talk about all the stuff and all the mistakes and all. I'm saying focused, purpose-driven, handling business. Everything that's associated that goes to everything that we talked about or been deficiencies or errors or problems that they've had thus far up to this point. There you go.
Not the scoreboard.
It's not going to even be the scoreboard. It's going to be all of that focus is going to be needed and necessary to complete the task. And if you do it 48-3, let's go. If you do it 23-20, let's go. But as long as you do it
Mm-hmm.
with focus, with precision, and with handling business, as long as you do it that way, then I can give you the clap. I'm good.
Pause.
No pause.
You said I'll give you the clap.
I'll give, yeah. Oh, pause. Pause. Great call. Where the hell are your bro, man?
Try to look out for you,
Where to
Stricky.
stay behind your bro?
You'll
Yeah.
clap for him. That's
Yeah,
what
but
you'll
I
do.
will clap for them.
Yes.
Not, yeah, pause on. There's all kinds of pause on that. Let's move on.
What if I told you, Strick, there was a game that Nebraska outgained Rutgers 620 to 252? That Nebraska had 27 first downs and Rutgers had 9. What do you think the final score of that game would be?
Say it again.
Nebraska outgains Rutgers 620 to 252 and out first downs Rutgers 27 to 9.
That game, good Lord, that should be the 48-10 or 48-3 game.
What if I told you Nebraska fumbled 5 times?
Oh, Lord, yeah, trouble.
Lost 2 of them.
Trouble.
And threw 2 interceptions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, trouble. Close your mouth.
And committed 9 penalties for 56 yards.
Oh, even more trouble. And you lose.
They won 28-21.
Who won?
Nebraska. Oh, and by the way, they allowed a kickoff return touchdown in that game.
Now, I don't know how that happened. But that ain't the one where I'm clapping for you. No need for the pause.
No need.
That isn't the one I'm clapping for you because that is horrendous. That just means you beat a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all that means. You just beat a bad team. A team that's just bad. Because that's all they did with Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
They just beat a bad team. Because any other team on that schedule, and I don't even care if it's Northern Iowa. If that's Northern Iowa, they lose. I think they lose. If that's Northern Iowa and they're making those kind of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely against Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely against Illinois. Definitely. And it didn't happen on Purdue, but I'm telling you, they just weren't that good. They just weren't good, period.
Mm-hmm.
And they were worse off on you than in the penalty situation. So you just was the beneficiary of playing a bad team. Now, I think it's good tape fodder. I think it's good things you can learn and put on tape and watch and observe. I think there should be attentiveness from the players.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being there should be attentiveness from the players is somebody came in and said, "Buck your couch, darkness," and put dirt all on your couch. They did that to you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things that now you should be listening because you're not as good as you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's things you should be learning, things you should be applying, things you should be changing and making different now. And this is how we're going to finish the year. And they should be more coachable.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is a coachable team. I'm not saying that they're not. I think they're a coachable team. But I also say there's now conversations that you can have. You can kind of go at a little bit. You can kind of poke and prod a little bit more than you probably could if they would have been undefeated and won that game against Illinois.
Because I think Illinois and Purdue, Strick, I mean, I know I asked you if that was a wake-up call for Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Even Purdue to some degree. I don't know if wake-up call is right, but I'm sure for you, there's a moment where everything, aha. I think the light bulb might have clicked on for more of the team in those 2 games, right? It's not a wake-up call. I'm sure they were working hard, doing their best. But Strick, I think in every athlete, or even if it's your career, you work at something long enough, you can't explain it, but someday you just get that, I get it now. You just get to that. Wait, we have Rutgers fans walking by the building.
Hey,
they're wearing Rutgers gear.
Already.
Look at that.
Look at that.
In the house.
Yeah. And look how genuine Nebraska folks are. Just gave a shake. Now, they ain't Nebraska folk.
Yeah, he's got a black shirts hat on.
He's got a black shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We're some of the best fans. Nebraska has some of the best fans on earth.
Preach.
Just genuine, authentic, kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we treat people with respect. We ain't like some of them others
that
are out there. But anyway.
All right.
yeah, that part.
Point being, for Nebraska, maybe this team had its aha moment, right? Matt Rule said that was a close game against Purdue until you decided you didn't want it to be anymore. We caught that from, I think it was in the Chasing 3 documentary. what better week, what better team to prove it against than Rutgers, who's similar enough to those teams that you can build on the lessons, but different enough you have to pay attention to new challenges. I think it sets up really well for Nebraska.
Voila. Voila. You said it, man. That's it. It sets up really well for growth.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think those other games is if you're, what do you call them? I don't think what do you call them? A planetarium? Or people that handle, what are the people that handle plants? What's the name of them?
Gardener?
There's a name for them. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's a name for them. So what I'm saying is these individuals, it's like treating a bonsai tree, right? There's things that you've got to shape it right to allow it to grow right. There's things you got to prune back. That's what it feels like to me. Those last situations are like pruning periods where you got to cut off the bad, because what a bad leaf can do to a branch or to a specific area of a tree.
Like landscapers? Horticulturists.
There you go, horticulturist. That's
Good
the word
job,
I was
Ellie.
looking for. Thank you, Ellie. Because what a bad plant.
We have botanists as well.
Botanists, thank you. Thank you, guys. What it can do to a specific area of a tree, if it's dead or it's dying or it's an area that you need to address. If you don't prune it, pull it back, cut it off, it begins to drain more of the energy, because the tree is saying to itself, I need to handle this area right here. There's something wrong out there that I need to take care of. So it begins sending energy and healing and whatever to try to get it back right. But it's not going to get back right. So what does it do? It hurts the rest of the branch,
the tree,
the rest of the tree, the rest of that area. So you have to cut it. That's what those last games you're hoping were for. And what you hope to have seen at the end of Purdue was the pruning process. And now we're hoping to see the growth out of what they pruned out of Purdue. Oh, that thing hit. Bars for Stricky today. Okay, let me be quiet. Let's move on.
Chef Stricky cooking for you.
I'm cooking right now, my boy.
We're going to cool Stricky off. We're going to go to break.
I'm hot.
We're going to wrap up
I'm gonna
hour
take
one
this
of On
off.
the Block. Get you down to 24 hours before game day. Next.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bozin, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th. Paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
Body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop. Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. An afternoon high around 79. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low around 58. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and it will be breezy and hot. The high around 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Old School with DP and J.
Scamper, to run with quick, light steps, especially through fear or excitement.
To escape fear or excitement?
Running through fear or excitement.
So,
right? Because
so everything Kyler Murray does looks like a scamper.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a little kid who just stole his mom's purse.
Yeah.
And is trying to avoid.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
24 hours and 2 minutes away from kickoff between Nebraska and Rutgers. We will certainly talk some more college football throughout the show here. We want your thoughts as well, 402-464-5685. Leading rusher, leading receiver, score prediction, all that good stuff. Send it to us. Let us know, 402-464-5685. Or drop a comment on stream. I know Stricky's got that pulled up, and we'll mention it if anything pops across. Strick, I thought this was interesting. Out of Major League Baseball, we see the Milwaukee Brewers eliminated by the New York Mets. Devin Williams gives up a home run on his airbender changeup, or so they call it. Stricky, every team that has beat the Milwaukee Brewers in the postseason has gone on to the World Series in Brewers history. So bet the Mets futures. Bet the Mets futures right now. Not to win the World Series, but just to get there.
What are you trying to say? It's a bunch of bones and a bunch of hoodoo curses going on out there in Milwaukee right now?
Really feels like it.
God.
They have their best player on the mound. They get a home run from a guy that hadn't hit a home run since May. Wow. It's crazy. Everything was coming at Brewers except for that.
I don't know. Maybe things are switching for the Mets. Maybe they're just trying to come out of the dungeon in the ire of the Bronx Bombers.
Mets have made a couple World Series.
I know.
In the 2000s. Brewers have not. But elsewhere in the NL Central,
I feel bad for the Brewers.
I do too.
I actually like their stadium. I've been there.
It's nice.
I hate that for them, man. I
know
because they're a small market team. They're not gonna. Oh, I hate that for them.
If I had to pick an NL team, no offense, Marlins, but the Brewers are probably my NL team. Yeah, I said it. Then maybe the Braves, maybe the Dodgers.
That's why the Royals.
I do like the Padres too.
That's why the Royals are about to go down.
Hey, we'll see.
They're out of there. Just for what you just said right now. Let's watch.
Hey, the Reds might be back up though. They hired Terry Francona.
Yeah, Francona,
that's a big move.
He disappeared for a minute. Yeah,
just a year.
Just for a second.
He managed the Phillies for 4 years. Took 3 years off. Managed the Red Sox for 8 seasons. Won a couple World Series with them. Took 2012 off. And then managed the Cleveland Indians and Guardians then for just about a decade. Takes another year off and then jumps to the Cincinnati Reds. Baseball's so funny to me, Strick, how these big name managers can just take a year off and say, nope, I'm good. It's not like Terry Francona did the Urban Meyer thing where he stepped down for health reasons or stepped down for health reasons, whichever it might have been, just to get himself out of Florida and then to Ohio State. This happens all the time in baseball. Reds have a pretty promising young core. To get a guy like Terry Francona out of what we assumed was retirement for the final time, I think that's huge for the Reds especially. I don't know exactly why Terry Francona would want the Cincinnati Reds necessarily. But hey, good for him, good for them, I guess.
It's just that itch, man. It's like scratching that itch. And I had that in a different way, right? Not in coaching, not in refereeing. I had that itch in Nebraska where I said, man, what would it be like to be on Memorial Stadium? What would it be like to put on the Husker, red?
Mm-hmm.
What would it be like to walk down the tunnel? I had that itch. It was just a little, it was a little itch. And I was like, And I went out there and it was great. I enjoyed it. My back hurt for a few days though, because again, I'm using different muscles that I've never used before. So my back was sore as a mug. But and then we were running on the turf too, so it was different. It wasn't the same kind of turf that they have now. But I think sometimes coaches, you get to sitting at home, you get to play enough golf, you get to travel enough. You're probably sitting on your lake house with your feet up and a cigar in your mouth and puffing on a good stogie, and you got your lake boat, a tri-tune out there. You can go out there and hang out. The kids are running around. You see but man, sometimes that itch, man, you just like, man, I miss being around the fellas. I miss being in the clubhouse. I miss being on the plane.
Well, and Tito's a baseball lifer. It's all he knows.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's just that. And, It's two ways about it. When you have that situation, you either have to have a really good wife that understands. Because if you have one that's like, look, and I'm not coming against marriages because I'm not married, but I was, and I know what it's like to be married. But if you had one like Tom Brady had, where Giselle was like, she hung in there.
Mm-hmm.
She was finally like, yo, it's time, it's up.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a little bit difference in that situation. Giselle still models and she still does she has her businesses and stuff, but she's not like traveling the way that she was in the earlier sets. So she's probably spending a lot more time probably handling her business and stuff more at home. Whereas obviously in the football arena, you're always, especially as a quarterback, you're always in film, you're always in whatever offense or defense room you're in, you're always sitting in your theater room, seeing what the next opponent is, what their weaknesses, because Tom Brady was like a coach quarterback on the field. So I could understand that time was not there for him, but I still think he has an itch. So guess what he does? To scratch the itch somewhat, you go into broadcasting, you stay close to it somehow, some way, right? Not married now, so it doesn't affect him as much as it probably would have if you had a lot. So you either have to have a wife that's absolutely unequivocally supportive of you, where you are able to go and do that, and maybe Coach Francona does, or you have to be single.
Yeah,
there's no in between. When you've been there that long and in the game and around the game and playing the game and you're still able to do that, you probably got a wife. Sometimes your wife is like, get the out of here. Like she wants to kick you out too. Like this is where a lot of relationships probably went south during COVID, because families that were used to the husband going out and he had a road trip, he had to go, on a business trip, and wife is like, whew, I got a breath now. And kids are in school. I get to breathe a little bit. But good gosh, husband stuck at home now, looking you in the face, same thing. Wife looking at you. You like, God dang. Like you ain't used to being around each other. You ain't used to being around each other that long. Maybe it's not Terry Francona. Maybe it's Mrs. Francona that gave him the boot. Say, get your butt back out there and go do something.
We'll have to wait for the introductory press conference. If Terry Francona says that, I will keel over laughing. We got plenty more to get to in hour 2 of On the Block, including a new proposal. 12 divisions, 6 teams in the new college football FBS conference. Let's break down those divisions. Is it going to work? What's the rationale behind it? All that and more ahead in hour 2 of the show.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Stop by our 93.7 The Ticket Studios this Saturday, October 5th, to get your pregame grub on with the help from Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Charles and his team will be set up on the sidewalk with ribs, brisket sandwiches, pulled pork, pulled chicken, mac and cheese, baked beans, and potato salad, all available for purchase. Make pregame plans to stop by our 93.7 The Ticket Studio to get filled up on Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul this Saturday, October 5th, before cheering on the Huskers. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. This week's 93.7 The Ticket Athlete of the Week is Seward quarterback Trenton Haas. Haas went 14 of 17 through the air for 243 yards with 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the Blue Jays' 41-6 win against Lincoln Northwest. The Ticket's Athlete of the Week is powered by 3 Pillars Performance. Unlock your peak performance with the expert instruction at 3 Pillars Performance in Lincoln and online at 3pillarsperformance.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. Order online or on our app.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My husband has always been the one we depend on. He's a great dad, loves the outdoors. But lately, he hasn't been himself. He tried to hide it, but I can tell he's struggling with his mental health. I called the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
988 calls and texts are free and confidential with skilled caring support 24/7. No judgment, just help.
988 saved my husband's life.
Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
It might just be me for a while here. Strick is diving in to that good sense sandwich. He is enjoying it. His heart is singing right now. I can just tell. Stricky's heart is singing. It looks like I got some garlic pepper bread. See some onion, some turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good sense. It makes good sense.
That it does. 5 Lincoln locations. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Lincoln locations open for you today. What's the East Strick order? If we can get that on the menu, just get the Stricky.
Everything you said, but turkey. A little bit of mustard. Some good salt and vinegar chips.
Oh, salt and vinegar. I ain't rolling.
And an Arnold Palmer.
Nice.
Huh?
Ellie, talk into the mic. Come on, you're a part of the show.
Put the chips on the sandwich.
Ooh!
I do it every time. It doesn't matter where I go. I'll get salt and vinegar chips, so I understand, and I'll put them on the sandwich.
I actually do that on my pizza.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. I put some
What?
chips, the little crumbles of the chips.
That's not.
You're like the dude on the little
What?
meme. What?
What?
Yeah. I'm gonna try it,
No,
Ellie. You gave me a little inspiration.
I'm not going to try the chips on the pizza, but try the chips on the sandwich.
Yeah, Ellie. Good job.
Okay, text line. Now I have to know chips on the sandwich or chips on the side. 402-464-5685. Chips on the sandwich, chips on the side, and what kind of chips are you having? That's just doing the most. Like, why am I going to deconstruct my sandwich just to put chips on top, and I can just reach into the bag and eat the chips?
You just take the top of the bread off.
But why not just eat the chips on the
It
side?
gives you that little crunchy little.
You're not going to put all the chips on the sandwich. You're obviously going to have some more chips on the side, so you get both.
Yeah, you get both. You get double up.
But you're doing the most.
On the sandwich. The text line saying on the sandwich.
Yes.
Jalapeno on the side.
Oh, gosh.
No, I'm rolling.
My friends
on the
eat
sandwich.
jalapeno. I don't understand.
So are you going to get like a barbecue chicken sandwich, but barbecue chips
No, you
on the
can't do
sandwich?
that. No,
That's too far?
It's different. It's a cold.
What?
You can
What?
put it on a cold sandwich.
Jalapeno chips. Like I get the jalapeno chips and I put it on the pizza. Give me a little spice to it. Pop.
Getting a lot.
Yeah.
Why is it an either or question? Why not both? Expand your horizons.
Exactly.
Barbecue chips on the sandwich, says Old Dad 34. Quinn says both Cool Ranch Doritos or spicy nacho Doritos.
Okay.
On and off the sandwich. Scott from Bancroft, got to have Fritos on the bologna sandwich.
Not Fritos. I can't do it. That's the one chip. Even as a young kid, I could never do. I could never do the Fritos. I don't know why.
Hey, try the chili cheese Fritos. They open my eyes. And many other things, but especially my eyes.
Never been able to do the Fritos.
Tim AV had some sour cream and cheddar chips on my turkey and Colby Jack sandwich today.
My man. I'm rolling.
That.
I'm rolling with you.
Big B, you are lucky you are not in the studio here. People who put chips on the sandwich are psycho.
I have been told I'm crazy, so it's fine.
Like, I know it's a thing that people do. I've just never once even considered doing it myself.
Good.
It's good.
But I just have the sandwich in my left hand and the chips in my right hand. It's just, I can take a bite of the sandwich, then I can take a chip, and I'm good.
I do that too.
Like, I can enjoy them both separately. You know, I don't need the crossover.
Okay.
I recognize two crossovers: the crossover with Happy Hour and the crossover with Old School. I don't recognize the crossover of chips onto sandwich.
Great analogy.
Who was that in there that just said expand your horizons? Yeah. Expand your horizons.
2655 said that.
See? Austin's the kind of guy that'll go to Thailand and go into McDonald's.
I would go to McDonald's in Thailand too.
No.
They have I've talked about this in class.
For that.
McDonald's, there's McDonald's everywhere and they have different food. Paris, they have such good food in Paris, like at the McDonald's, like things that we don't have here in America.
Forget McDonald's. Go to something else because I knew somebody was going to try to give a loophole. I'm saying stuff that you can get here. You would go there and eat and not eat anything, like no pate noodles, no. You know what?
What is a big taste?
You're worried. I know
cheese.
what you're worried about. You're worried about, and this is a joke, y'all. So stop. Do not text the line. This is a joke I'm playing because they're going against me. You're afraid of going somewhere, expanding your horizons, and worried about they're eating the dogs and eating the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. That's what you worried about.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to
chronically
Ohio.
online.
That was a joke. So anyway, let's move on. Where we at?
I'm on the McDonald's Paris menu right now. But
have,
we're
like,
gonna
this ham and cheese thing that I just saw the other day.
Stricky, look at this double Big Mac. Look at that sucker.
Oh my. There's no way you can eat that, bro. There's no way you can eat that. You're gonna have to cut that.
Look at that.
I eat it.
There's no way you can eat it. You're eating that with forks and with knives. There's no way you're
It never
chomping on
looks
that.
like the picture.
There's no way you're chomping on that. And you know what? That is something, you guys. You listeners too. How many times have you been sitting at home looking at the TV and having a great time and your stomach is kind of, and then you see like a Jack in the Box, or you see and that sandwich, that freaking burger looks so amazing, and then you go over there and it's like your heart,
head,
it's
you
the
really
worst
wanted it,
feeling.
and then it doesn't.
That is the worst feeling on earth, where you see how succulent that thing looks, and it's freaking just
Doesn't hit. It
and then you go there and it's like, what the freak was that?
Ben says that's White Castle every time. Old Dad 34 says, Austin, try chips on the sandwich. It all goes to the same place anyways.
Well said.
Guess what? I am the guy at Thanksgiving. I'm not mixing the whole plate together.
I am.
No.
Me neither.
No, you don't mix your Thanksgiving plate
together.
I don't care if it all ends up in the same place.
I want it all together. I'm mixing macaroni with green beans.
That's
with ham. I want the full.
Too far. Pause.
Yeah. No pause.
Pause.
I want on Thanksgiving, I'm trying to savor all of the flavor.
Like you can put gravy on your turkey. You can like dip your meat in the gravy or potatoes or whatever, but I'm not mixing the whole plate together. Like my corn and my mashed potatoes are going to be separated by my turkey.
Okay.
So they don't go together.
Respect. I respect you, but
or like green bean casserole, right?
People laugh at me for goulash.
Goulash is good.
Have you heard his goulash recipe, Ellie?
She has not. I'm a good old Southern boy, born in Alabama. So goulash for me is grits, not the instant. See, I know you, Ellie. You wanna eat the instant grits. The 1 minute you throw it in the microwave and boom, you think grits go pop.
There's not a denial there.
I'm talking about the grits. It takes 30 minutes to cook. Butter in it, nice. Throw some pepper, nice. Then all of a sudden, you cook the eggs, maybe some sausage, some bacon. Whatever one, mix whatever.
Still talking about goulash?
Yes.
You don't. It's a different goulash. What you think? I cut up the sausage or peel the bacon, drop it in there. Throw the eggs in there, all on top. It looks like a big mesh of nothing. Mm-hmm. And then I put jelly on it, and whip it up. Goulash. That's it, baby. We good.
I'm gonna look up what goulash is.
Well, goulash for you is different than goulash for me. Okay. Where we at, man? What y'all talking about on the line today?
Let's just jump into this college students football league that got unveiled. We'll kind of preview it here. We'll go through it more here in the next segment.
Say that again.
College student football league. The Super League idea was first introduced by the group last spring. They officially rolled it out earlier this week. It's a part of the College Sports Tomorrow advisory group that's been in the news for a lot of different things. College Sports Tomorrow is saying, let's reorganize the 136 FBS schools into two conferences. The top 72 programs, majority of which are Power Fives, would be in the quote-unquote Power 12 conference. The remaining 64 schools would play in the group of 8. Promotion would be available for the top group of 8, but no relegation for the Power 12.
Pause!
So we just get right back to where we were going.
We talked about this all along, because remember we were breaking it down, like kind of what we thought the format would look like. And if they decided to go to a power conference, we said it looks like that's where this is all trending towards. And we've been talking about this on the block. And you guys think that we just be on here just running our mouths sometimes. We were thinking beyond with our insight and his Magic 8 Ball he has at home. He doesn't tell you about it, but he has his Magic 8 Ball.
Magic 8 Ball did win our poll, by the way, the other day.
There you go. See, there you go. But this is kind of what we're talking about. This is kind of what we're talking. And we're talking about a promotion. We even talked about that. a promotion system if your record, and you have to play a round robin of a certain amount. The outside group, they have to play a round robin in the non-con of a certain amount of these groups, depending on where they're located. And if they end up usurping one of them, they get to pop in the next. Yeah, we've been talking about this. This is crazy. I love it.
There are a number of pretty well-respected athletic directors and presidents here that are a part of this league in the rollout. One of them is West Virginia President Gordon G. You've got Syracuse Chancellor Kent Syverud, who's been a pretty big name. And then scrolling down to the bottom here, Jimmy Haslam, right? Tennessee booster, Cleveland Browns ties there. Grant Hill. You also have some athletic directors like Danny White at Tennessee, highest paid AD in the FBS. Bubba Cunningham at North Carolina, Kirby Hocutt from Texas Tech, who's bounced around. And Strick, I think there's a couple interesting quotes here in this article from On3. First one is this.
I don't want to see that yet. I'm looking at some of these.
The divisions are next segment. Hold your horses. One of the quotes is, while we respect college sports tomorrow, the group itself is not the point. It's their ideas, their principles, and the substance of their approach that we encourage FBS presidents to contemplate. So that is from some presidents to other presidents. Here, I think, Strick, is maybe the most telling quote. As university presidents, we need to get back in the game and take responsibility for our future. We can't rely on commissioners or Congress to do this. More engagement, urgency, and leadership are needed from all of us to breathe new life into college sports and create a sustainable new model that is steeped in the cherished traditions we all want to preserve.
Love it.
I like a lot of that.
I like a lot of that. Let's get back to having creativity. I think a lot of people have been sitting up in those big old offices and just
ivory towers.
Yeah, and just happy to just allow it be what it's going to be, and then not getting ahead of things or being creative or innovative, and just sitting there and just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just collecting this big $3 million check, and I don't care. I'm just going to work on the TV rights. No, bump that. Let's go. Let's get into it. I like this. Yeah.
My one problem with it is that a lot of these presidents, chancellors, leaders have allowed this to happen. So guess what? They could have put their foot down before, and they didn't. So on the one hand, yes, better late than never. I'm glad that there are some that are, wanting to take ownership of the situation, be creative, be innovative, and chart a path forward. I don't like that it took them this long. They had so many opportunities to do this before we got to where we were. And again, maybe it's like we were talking about halfway through hour one. Maybe the light just finally came on. Aha. Now we know. Now we have to go. It reached a point of no return for enough influential people. Maybe that's what it is. In which case, okay, fine. We throw our hands up. We're at their mercy anyways. It's a bummer that it took them this long to get there because I think they're headed in the right direction. Now, what it does to FCS, I don't necessarily like. Why they get to decide who the top and the bottom teams are, I don't necessarily love. I don't just want to throw our hands up and say, that's the way of the world. Sorry, smaller schools, you can deal with it. But it might be the point we're coming to anyways. And, if you look at these divisions, Strick, I'll probably get on board down the road.
I like what I see. I like the potential of it. Again, it's going to be, you got to figure out, I like the way it's set up right now, but then how are they going to reference them? Right. I think there should be some cross. I think the lower tier should get a chance to fight their way in. I think there should be a certain amount of matchups. Like it could be a 2-year with 4 and 11, a 2-year home and home, different teams. Right. And then, I think there should be a consistent model like of 1 and 2. Like they consistently play across from each other. And then this is how you can do scheduling. I think you can make scheduling easy this way.
Yep.
Go ahead. You got something?
I was going to say, we can get into that next segment because on the graphic, it kind of tells you where they're leaning.
Okay.
And what we can use to fill in. So I think this is a good spot to go to break. We'll break down some of the interesting divisions and what the regular season would look like. This would be a really long season. We'll tell you what this college student football league might look like according to some university presidents when we get back to On the Block.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. This week's 93.7 The Ticket Athlete of the Week is Seward quarterback Trenton Haas. Haas went 14 of 17 through the air for 243 yards with 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the Blue Jays' 41-6 win against Lincoln Northwest. The Ticket's Athlete of the Week is powered by 3 Pillars Performance. Unlock your peak performance with the expert instruction at 3 Pillars Performance in Lincoln and online at 3pillarperformance.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Finger, one love. Order online or on our app.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check.
Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxing on Saturday, October 5th with Roughnecks at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 8 bouts are scheduled for the night, including the main event of Dwayne Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks in the professional middleweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze, and an afternoon high around 79. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low around 58. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies, and it will be breezy and hot with a high around 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cutter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sorry, I didn't know where he went.
We are back here on the block, breaking down the 12 new 6-team divisions being proposed by College Students Football League. Part of College Sports Tomorrow. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, Ellie with you here for the next half an hour or so. Don't forget, we do have a remote for Old School. Jay Foreman out at Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and L with AD. Aaron Davis popping into Old School. DP's on the road doing UFC. So you get Jay Foreman, you get Aaron Davis for 2 hours. Special guest appearance from Tom Mater himself. Larry the Cable Guy will be live in person, so make sure you stick around for that. But Stricky, we had a chance over break to look through these 12 divisions here. Let's start with Nebraska. Nebraska placed in the Midwest Division with Iowa, Iowa State, Minnesota, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. What do you think?
Tough going, challenging. I don't know if they'll like it, but I think they can work with it. I think it's challenging enough to just have a view up of excellence where for me it reminds me of Mike Tyson Punch-Out, where I could always beat Glass Joe. You don't even know Punch-Out, but it's okay. Go and Google it and you'll figure it out. You could always beat Glass Joe. You might even beat Piston Honda regularly. Then you start getting to Soda Popinski. And you're going up and you get to Hippo and all these others. And you know, you've been fighting, you get knocked out a couple times. You kind of like, oh, dang. Okay, I've gotten better. I can move a little bit. Oh, I figured out the technique. Okay, I got you now. Move to the next level, right? Then you get to the Macho Man. He's like the champion of the next
Randy
level.
Savage.
Nah, he's not. It's Punch-Out. You get to the Macho Man, but you've been fighting to get to the Macho Man. And, you know, boom, okay, you figure that out. Now I get to him. Dang, he knocks me out. And then you finally beat him. You figure it out. Boom, boom, you slide, boom, boom, boom. You win. But then you got to fight Mike Tyson, Ohio State. Like, so you're battling, you get there, but it keeps your eyes focused on the champion of the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you never get content. You shouldn't get content, but it's challenging enough to force that. Just like you did. All y'all old school folks will understand what I'm talking about Mike Tyson Punch-Out. It wasn't an easy game, but it's a beatable game. Mm-hmm. But it took you to be focused. It took you had to kind of read the patterns. You had to understand what you needed to do against a specific person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think that division does for Nebraska being in it.
I don't know of any team that's really happy about being in the Midwest. Iowa at least has its biggest drive. I think Iowa's thrilled. Right, you get Iowa State, you get Minnesota, you get Wisconsin, you get Nebraska. I think that works out pretty well for Iowa. And they're not necessarily mad at Ohio State, but they don't love it. Ohio State is pissed that Michigan's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Would those two schools allow themselves to be separated? I don't think so. I think that this division is kind of a problem. I don't think it works out all that well. Ben on the text line said, it's a bad matchup because Nebraska is in the Plains, not the Midwest. They're two culturally and geographically distinct places. That Plains division, Strick, is where I think Nebraska would want to be.
So. I think
Colorado, Kansas, Kansas State, Missouri, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma says, thank you very much for that division. Kansas State says, thank you very much for that division. Missouri licking its chops there in that division. That, I think, is where Nebraska would tell you it belongs. Because if you look at this division for Nebraska, Iowa's the only true rival in there.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, definitely lower tier, below all the old Big 8 matchups. Same with Wisconsin. That never took off like the Big 10 wanted it to. Maybe TV people say, hey, if Nebraska gets good and Ohio State gets good, that's a marquee game in this division every year. We can't bank on that. There's no real shared history between those two schools. So it feels to me like Nebraska is the throw-in here.
Yeah, because I'm trying to understand Nebraska circled by dang near everybody on that list except for Iowa. Like, they're not connected to any other version of that Midwestern group. They're the farthest west of the group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They have less history with Iowa State than Iowa does.
Yeah, I don't understand that, especially with, boy, that would be fun for basketball to be in,
wouldn't it?
In the Plains division.
Wouldn't it, Stricky?
Golly.
Hey, do you see Nebraska's going back to the Devaney for their scrimmage?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. May pop my head in that one. Okay. What else?
Notre Dame getting thrown out east makes sense if you look at the rest of the schools. That's a cakewalk division for Notre Dame, right?
And they did
get
that
easy
on purpose. You know they did.
Oh, they did.
You know they did.
Notre Dame belongs more in the Great Lakes kind of Midwest-ish region.
Facts.
I don't know who else you put out east. Penn State, cakewalk through the Mid-East.
Oh, God.
There's nobody else in there.
Oh.
Nobody else for Penn State.
Oh, and they're happy.
Yeah. Oh, they're thrilled.
They're thrilled about that one.
Michigan is thrilled with the Great Lakes. Michigan loves that.
Great Lakes. Oh.
Michigan loves that.
Oh, come on. Nebraska should. No, I'm saying.
Carolinas, Clemson, Duke, NC State, Tar Heels, South Carolina, Wake Forest. Clemson says thank you very much. Mid-South could be a war. Vandy doesn't belong, but the rest of that Strick, I really like Mid-South there. Bama, Auburn, Kentucky, Louisville, and you throw Tennessee in there for some spice. That one's fun.
I like that one. That's a fun group. And I think Kentucky's, hey, watch out. They'll slip you. They'll come and get you.
That Southeast, though, Stricky, Georgia says, thank you very much.
Boy.
Especially right now.
Boy. Well, Miami now. You ain't rolling. Yeah.
I'm rolling with the Canes, not against Georgia. Not like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're happy as no, the happy one.
Who's the happy one?
LSU Tigers in the South. They are smiling from ear to ear.
They got Arkansas, Houston, Memphis, Mississippi State, Ole Miss.
They smiling from ear to ear.
Mike the Tiger is thrilled.
Oh, he is
ecstatic.
happy as a church mouse in a quiet, empty house.
Spit those bars, Stricky.
No, that didn't work well.
I know. I was trying to give you credit anyways.
I was trying to figure out where would the church mouse be happy at?
In the church?
Anyway, in church.
In the barn?
In the barn.
Let's see here. Then you have...
In the cabinet.
I think Texas is pretty happy with the Texas division. Baylor, SMU, TCU. You get Texas, you get A&M, you get Tech.
How does Texas get his own Texas division? What's really up? How come California don't get a California division?
You're not... I mean, you get pretty close to a California division.
How does Texas get a Texas?
But instead,
how do they get their own freaking word division? Okay. I'm tired of Texas basically getting all the perks. How come their name always gets put on something? No, I'm just talking crap. I'm just throwing it out there.
So if you look at the Southwest and the South here, Stricky, you have the 4 California schools, USC, UCLA, and LA. You get Cal and Stanford, but then you throw in Arizona and Arizona State. I get it because they're right next door to each other, right? It makes sense in that regard. But if you're Arizona State, don't you feel more mountain? Don't you want more BYU, Utah?
If you're Arizona, who?
In Arizona State. Do you want to play the California schools or do you want to play the Utah schools?
I mean, to me, it seems like that's just for familiarity. More so than anything. You know what I mean?
Because you don't want to split up Oregon State, or Washington State. And you can't, maybe you could do California and Oregon, but then you have Washington, Utah, and Arizona, which is a weirder split. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it just feels weird right now.
It makes sense, but yeah, I get it. I understand it, but yeah, that's probably the best suited one. Out of that group, though, USC's pretty excited. Basketball would be fun in that Southwest group.
Mm-hmm. But this would only be for football.
Exactly.
So that's
right.
The other issue here.
That's the other thing.
Dalton says Notre Dame is not a Great Lake Division team. I think they are, though. I really think they are, because Notre Dame is not on a coast, right? The way they act, they make you think like they're coastal elites. They're
not.
Indiana,
though.
Yeah. It's in South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah.
Why is Notre Dame split up from Indiana? Notre Dame should be with like Indiana, the Michigan schools, Northwestern, throw Illinois and Purdue in there. Right? There's the division. Maybe Ohio State in there instead of one of them.
I like I could appreciate how they threw Navy in there.
But that's the only service academy you get.
That's what I'm saying.
Army out, Air Force
should
out.
be in there somewhere in the mountain or something. Oh, well. But Navy, because Air Force seems to me they're better than Navy. They
both have been recently.
They're both good. But
Well, Army and Navy are both 4-0 right now.
Undefeated.
Yeah. Air Force is 1-3, but that's kind of weird for them. They've been the better program a handful
overall.
of years recently. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild to me that you throw Navy in that. Something to that. Maybe it's money.
Probably. Go Navy, beat Army. Big Navy guy over here. Old Dad 34, can I ask where these divisions came from? Yes. College Student Football League put these out. Stricky and I are reading from an article from On3. We tweeted it out at our On the Block 93.7 account. So if you want to find it, that's where the article is. Graphic is up for you on Twitter as well.
Check out what Sway said. I don't know. I'm still trying to understand.
I can't see it. What you got?
Sway says, hear me out. Go to a Power 6 from this one. I don't know if that's supposed to be an so I can't whatever that is, I can't see that, Sways. And then it says, and so on together, crossover games for champ versus champ, 6 versus 6, and so on in 7 non-division games. Sways, really break that down. And I'm not really following that, but I was interested because you have a different perspective. Are you talking about the same lineup and just because that's what I was talking about? Is that what he's saying, you think?
I don't know, but you did mention the schedule. It would be a 13-game regular season over 15 weeks, so you get 2 bye weeks in there. 5 games against your division, right? 8 games against anyone else. I think you, Strick, we can talk about this for just a minute here. The other 64 schools that would be broken down into 8 conferences of 8, there's got to be some overlap, and they've got to be able to play these top 72 teams during the season.
Yeah. So, they've got to be able to have a game or 2 against multiple, I say at least 2 games against multiple divisions, where one week they get a Great Lakes team and another week they get a Carolinas team, right? And preferably they schedule it by way of who ends up in the bottom tier of that division. You don't play on the top tier. You play the ones you want to knock out the box.
Yes.
And if you beat them and you show that you won, then they're at risk of getting knocked out the box. Right? And
except that they're not
you have
at
to
risk.
go to their home.
Yes.
Too.
Sure.
Right?
Make it a 2-year series, home and home.
A 2-year series.
That's fair.
And then I think the conference or the divisions play like one in a home and away, one versus 2, which would be East versus Midwest. Those schedules are scheduling teams for 2 years in a multi-game against the cross.
Yeah.
Then you have all your division games.
Go down the list, division games.
Then you have your whoever that team is. But then the added team would have to play against another one division outside, and it's maybe division you're going to play next.
Sure.
So if 1 and 2, which would be the East and the Mid-East, they have that 2-year schedule. Follow me, y'all. And they're scheduling cross as well as the outside group. And they play one team. So the Midwest is going to play the Plains division after the 2-year series is over. So you got one game against that playing series, and then hopefully that adds up to 12.
Right. Because you could do 1 versus 2 for 2 years, 1 versus 3. You just move it on down the list, cycle through. You won't see everyone for 11 years, essentially. But I like that, right? The top, like NFL style. If you finish in first place in your division, you get the first place team in that division. You finish fourth place, you get the fourth place team. You cross over that way. Doesn't have to be complicated. I do like this last part, though, Strick. Prior seasons, top 36. So the teams that finish top 3 in each division automatically get 7 home games the next year. Some incentive. How about that? You rolling? Okay.
How does the 12-team playoff break down?
It does not break down because it expands to 24.
Oh!
Division winners and wild card berths. Similar to NFL playoff structure.
From each division, or you can have multiple in...
Similar to NFL playoff structure.
Okay.
So I assume that'd be not just the top 2. It'd be simplest if you took the top 2. Sounds like that's not what they want. Late August to January for the season, which is pretty much what we have now as well. So interesting stuff there. We got to get out of here. We will take a break, have a very short segment. Stricky will compare Nebraska Rutgers to a movie. Then we'll get you out to Cornhusker Bank, just a few miles down the road from us here on 83rd and O. Don't go anywhere. Wrapping up on the block after this.
Stop by our 93.7 The Ticket Studios this Saturday, October 5th, to get your pregame grub on with the help from Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Charles and his team will be set up on the sidewalk with ribs, brisket sandwiches, pulled pork, pulled chicken, mac and cheese, baked beans, and potato salad, all available for purchase. Make pregame plans to stop by our 93.7 The Ticket Studio to get filled up on Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul this Saturday, October 5th, before cheering on the Huskers. The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato, pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we are out of the gate for September with a very special GMC sales offer. We must move out all new GMC truck inventory fast. So right now at Coppell, we are offering true GM supplier pricing for everyone. Yes, you heard right. True GM supplier pricing on all GMC Sierras. That's over $12,000 off on select models. That's GM supplier pricing, $12,000 off on Sierras. Do not wait. Stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one final time here during On the Block. We're not going to stick around too long. Get you out to Cornhusker Bank for Old School. Jay Foreman, AD on site. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, Eric Strickland. Ellie's on the board. Big thanks to Nebco for sponsoring the show. Strick, couple things to get to real quick. First of all, Nebraska Board of Regents approves alcohol sales at Memorial Stadium. Your quick thoughts.
Glad it's taken far too long. I think it's a necessary thing. I think we've missed the mark in the opportunities with the experience that you could have at Pinnacle Bank as well as Memorial Stadium. This is, let's be real. This is probably how you create J-Sker fans because, some of those fans are just like, you know what, I'd much rather go to the Creighton game. I can, enjoy time with my family, sit down in here, have a brew after work. It's, nice downtime vibe. It's like a mini happy hour for some people, right? Yeah. You don't get that same experience when you go, right now to Pinnacle Bank or even to Memorial. Tailgating, this is why you have people kind of before halftime shooting outside, go to their tailgating spot and tap in.
Yeah.
And, you can create a better overall experience. Obviously, you want to, not respectable, but you want to be, we see a police car right outside.
You want to drink responsible, make sure you have a handle on it, all that good stuff, right?
That's what made me think of that. You want to be responsible with everything, you don't want to be rowdy and all that, but I get it. But I think Nebraska fans are good. I think they're understanding of what, how to treat the responsibility of having that there in Memorial Stadium. I think it's good.
And if nothing else, to be purely cynical, you've been missing out on some easy money. It's been there on the table for you
Big
for decades.
You've been trying to raise money, get money.
Millions a year.
Bruh.
You said, nope, we're good.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. But okay. Yeah, that's the way you want to do it.
All right.
It's the same thing I feel about right now. Like I'm watching with a close eye, and I know we got to get out of here. I'm watching with a close eye of what's going on with Epley Airfield. Because I said they should scrap Epley, leave it as like a Southwest hub, and then boom, build something where it's a freaking experience. I don't know. Nebraska likes to kind of stay a little slow a little bit. I'm okay with it because I love it. I'm good. I love it and live here. Okay, what's up?
We need your movie that Nebraska Rutgers needs to be, and we need your score prediction before we get out of here.
All right. There's a movie by the name of The Warriors. It is a 1979 movie in which a street game as the Warriors, they must fight their way from the Bronx to the home turf in Coney Island when the members of them were falsely accused of assassinating a respected gang member. And the reason why I say that, there's a specific point in that movie. I would be a little bit more deeper about why I feel that it's this way, but we don't have time. But there was a specific moment in that movie where a guy had 2 bottles and they were going after the Warriors. He's actually the one that set them up. And he says, he's clicking the bottles and he's saying, Warriors, come out and play. That's the mentality that I believe Nebraska must take. You're getting called out. They're wanting you to play with, but you need to go because you got things to handle. You trying to get back home. You got to fight for your right
to party.
You. That's why you my guy. You felt me.
My man. All right, score prediction.
Oh!
What you got, Stricky?
Oh!
Hit us with it.
21-10.
21-10? Final answer?
Final answer.
21-10. I'm in the same neighborhood as you. I do think that Nebraska can get to that 24 to 27 range. So I'm going to go 24-17. 24-17 Huskers. I do think Rutgers gets on the board a couple times. Nebraska needs to win a one-score game. think the Scurs find a way to do it at home. It has been a great show. Starter Heyman text line and comment section. Appreciate all of you for your thoughts throughout the show. We will be back with you on Monday, but also be back with you tomorrow. Stricky and me on pregame A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show coming your way at noon. We're 23 hours away from kick between the Huskers and the Scarlet Knights. We're getting you set up even more with a remote from Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O. Jay Foreman, AD out there, free gourmet hors d'oeuvres out there, barbecue, drink, and of course, Lincoln's best sports talk. For Strick, for Allie, I'm Austin. Keep it tuned right here, 93.7 The Ticket. Back with you from Cornhusker Bank next. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com.